Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Dave with D&E Performance, coming to you from the garage. Out here working on the SN95, getting some of this stuff done. Got almost the whole rear end. Rear end is actually pretty much welded up. There's a couple more things I want to do with it. And then the ass end of the car is almost pretty much welded in. So I'll go ahead and show you what's going on. So some of these welds came out okay, and then some not so much, but we're just gonna roll with what we got. So we ended up doing some extra gusseting for the top upper control arms here. I put this plate in, and then just welded some of the sheet metal to the frame, and did the same thing here. This weld washer, I put a weld washer in there. That thing was extremely hard to get to. I mean, the weld is, it'll pretty much hold, but the welds are just not that pretty right there. Most of the stuff in here came out pretty good. There's some areas that could have used some, you know, little touch of probably patience. Welding is just, you know, it's very tedious. On top of it too, my welder is like almost, I think, 22 years old. I've had that welder for almost 20 something years. The first welder I had. Sorry for the wind, it's a little bit windy out here. As you can see, these came out okay. The tabs are all right. Ended up, got the subframe connectors pretty much welded in. Those go, I don't know if you can see them or not, they go strew all the way down. So I'm still probably gonna, once I order the cage, I'm probably gonna run another bar along the rocker. Run it right there up against this rocker panel right there, and then kind of strengthen this subframe connector, or subframe connectors in a little bit better, you know, just so they're a little bit more rigid, because you got this whole spot right here. It's from here almost all the way till it gets to the other subframe, and the connector is, this is this stuff that I use. It's a little bit thinner than what most people use. It's I think it's 1 inch by 2 inch. It's 1 inch by 2 inch square tube, and it's 095. I think everybody uses 120, but I was trying to cut down on the weight. So I've got some 1 inch tube 120 wall that's going to go to some more of this stuff. I'll probably just weld it up against the you know, the rocker panel there to strengthen all that up. But all in all, everything came out okay. Still got a lot of cleaning up to do. Some other stuff I got to do. So I got all the fuel mounts already done. The rear end's pretty much welded up. Like I said, the TRZ's brackets are already welded in. This bracket right here is just a bracket that I got off of eBay. It wasn't very expensive for the coilovers. I'm thinking it was maybe, gosh, I can't remember exactly. Don't quote me on this. I think it was like 50 bucks or something. And it comes with all the hardware and everything. Another thing too is the rear end. So I ended up welding all this up. I ended up adding this extra bar in here just to strengthen this up. I was thinking about doing another tube down to here, but at this point, if I do that, I'm just adding more weight to this rear end, and the rear end housing is already pretty much, it's pretty heavy as it is, and there's no internals in it. so I really don't want to add too much more weight to it. One thing I am gonna add in here is a bar that goes from here to here. I ordered some Heim joints off of Amazon, and they're the wrong size. I'm pretty sure I have to go back and check the order, but check the order, but the pages. But anyways, I'm rambling. The thing is this kit was only like $50, man, and it came with all this stuff. It's pretty crazy. It came with the, you know, the welded bungs and everything, both right and left. So I mean, that's pretty cheap. I don't know how good these Heim joints are. And they sell a kit. It's only like, I think it's like, it's only, but by the time, you know, I buy tube and do it myself, I could probably save myself a little bit of money. But probably just drill this out to 1/2 inch. This hole right here, just gonna drill this out to 1/2 inch, and then we'll come, you know, this way with it. Probably weld some tabs. I just got to get 2 more of these Heim joints, and then we'll come like that with it. And then so I had, my other idea was I planned on, you know, I plan on running dash 10 from the main line and then dash 8 back on my fuel stuff. Well, on these SM95s, I think this is part of the purge system. It's got this or a vent tube to the purge valve on the V6, and I think it probably is on the V8 too. But it's got a 1/2 inch diameter line that stretches from the rear of the vehicle all the way to the front of the vehicle. And I noticed this when I was taking the car apart, and I was just like, man, this would be great if I could just use this line, because it's steel line, so it, you know, it's E85. You can run whatever fuel you want through it. It just, and it's going to save the cost of all the soft line, you know, instead of running soft line all the way from front to back. So here's this line, and this thing, like, so this thing just, it snakes up. It's right here. This line snakes up, and it, you know, it's 1/2 inch, because I measured it with the micrometer, and I was like, man, this is perfect. This line, it's right here. It stretches all the way to the front, and it, you know, it's got nice, you know, mandrel bends in it. Actually, some of these are, no, it's not mandrel. Is this mandrel? No, I'm sorry, this is crushed. Yeah, but still, it's 1/2 inch line, so it'd been nice if it was mandrel, but yeah, it's got crushed bent lines, but it's a nice piece. So I figured I would just, you know, at first I tried to order a quick disconnect, and I couldn't find one. I ordered one off of eBay, found one on eBay, ordered it, and it didn't fit. So then I came up with plan B, which was to get dash 10 AN slip over, and then let's see if that would work. Here's, you know, of course they're made in China, and this place is called, it's called AC Performance, and there's the part number. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's the part number there. I think I got these off of Amazon, or actually that's a SKU number, but that SKU number is usually the part number too, so you should be able to type that in, and then these will pop up. So the idea here was to, you know, and I like slip-on fittings. These work really good. You just flare the end of the line out. But oh man, almost tripped and died right there. So, you know, this being like that, it just slips right over this line, and all I gotta do is flare the end of it, and then I can do whatever I want at this point, which is perfect. This should, I don't know, about an hour of my time to try to find the slipovers. So they make them, these slipovers, in dash 10. I'm pretty sure they probably make them in dash 12, which works out. It just saves me that much in coin. Sorry about my light, it keeps going off and on. But it just saves me that much more. Stupid light. Come on. Focus. Yeah, so there it is right there. So, I mean, now I can run my Y, because I plan on running a Y and then Ying right off of this into the back of the injectors with the through flow. And then I'll just come right back through this hole right here in the front of the frame with my dash 8 on the return. Probably don't need to run that much, you know, this big of a fuel line for what, you know, what we're making. There's a lot of guys that make 1,000 horsepower on, you know, 3/8 line, but you know, if I had the option to do this, and then on top of it, I'm going to be running two. Here's one of the fuel pumps. So this is a Holley 12-800. I forget which one is rated for the E85, but this one's a gasoline pump. But what I'm planning on doing is only using this as a secondary pump for you know, so if that first pump doesn't take care of, you know, doesn't do the job, I'll just have it set up in the ECU so that this pump turns on, and then, you know, when it needs it. So this being a gasoline pump, I really don't think it's gonna hurt it, you know, with it running off and on. It's not continuously flowing E85. My primary pump is rated for E85, and that's going to be my main pump, and it's somewhere in here. I don't know, it's somewhere in here. Anyways, I don't know what part number it is, but it's in here somewhere amongst all these parts. Here it is, right here. These parts I've been collecting for the last year or so. So this is the pump I'm going to be running, and this is, I think it's 12-8. It's 12-890. Yeah, 12-890, and this one's good for like 800 horsepower on E. With that line being like that from the factory, man, that's just a game changer. As far as, I thought I was going to have to buy, you know, that much line, because when you start buying, you know, 20, 30, 40 feet, it's usually, I think if you, usually I think I usually use about 20 to about, anywhere from 20 to 28 feet, just depending on how I route the fuel system, you know, on these cars. It just depends on the wheelbase and how long the car is and where you set it up, but it's usually somewhere in there from anywhere from 28 to about, 20 to about 28 feet fuel line, and now that's probably, at least with all the bins and everything, that's probably at least 10 or 11 feet that I don't have to buy. And if somebody's wanting to run a really big giant pump, you know, and they're putting a really big motor in here, these SN95s already come with that line, so that makes it nice. As far as this build is going so far, I've got my axles, all the front end stuff is already here. I think I already went over all this. The fuel tank's already here. My spool's already here. Spool's right here. It's in this box. All my bearings and everything, all that stuff's right there. So I pretty much I'm just held up on those hind joints. I already finished, just held up on the hind joints for that crossbar I want to make. And then, of course, I've already made the lower control arms. To save the cost, I just went with a urethane bushing on the body mounts. I think, you know, it'll be alright. The rest of it, that's going to be the only part that's not rigid. And so I figured there's probably going to be some, a little bit of give there, which is not, you know, it's not the worst thing. But, you know, if you go full race, you kind of want the whole rear end. You know, we'll do something else. I gotta say, these SN95s are extremely easy to build. I mean, there's just so much parts available for these things. It is not hard, you know, to bolt one of these together. I pretty much ordered, I'm gonna start calling her the Internet Princess, because I pretty much ordered all the parts for this car off of the internet. Literally just been shopping on Amazon and eBay, and not promoting them, but just internet in general. I'm able to find, you know, all the parts I need for this thing. You know, I don't have to really sit there and fab. I mean, the rear end and the cage work, that's, you know, building a race car, that's just normal. You're gonna get into some fab work. But it's not like building a full-off, one-off, you know, chassis pro mod car, because, you know, Princess one day she might be a pro mod. I don't know. She could possibly turn into a pro mod one day. Anyway, rear end on them, but so that's where I just decided, you know, laid out the budget for this thing, and how much time, you know, I wanted to actually spend, and I kind of knew what I was getting into, and kind of set everything forward and came up with a plan, and then just executed this plan. So anyway, just want to tell you guys, you know, got a couple new subscribers. You know, thank you for subscribing. If you guys have any, you know, thoughts on this, or, you know, if you just want to comment, go ahead, you know, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all that good jazz, and we'll catch you guys on the flip. Hasta luego, arrivederci.